There is a positive update on the Britney Spears story. Britney Spears has secured a significant win in her conservatorship case. Now she has been under the control of her father and another conservator who manages her finances. And what she's been trying to do is change the lawyer representing her. Earlier we shared that the lawyer who had previously been representing her stepped down after it became abundantly clear that Britney Spears found the entire arrangement exploitative and wrong. And so now Judge Brenda Penny, Judge Brenda Penny will allow Britney's desired replacement attorney, former federal prosecutor Matthew Rosengart, to represent the singer moving forward. The 39-year-old entertainer has been unable to choose her own lawyer since the conservatorship's inception in 2008. It's expected that Rosengart's first order of business, once officially instated, will be trying to oust her father, Jamie Spears, who is unfortunately serving as Britney Spears's conservator. Now, in a phone interview with NBC, Britney Spears did not hold back in expressing what she plans to do moving forward in regard to her father and how she feels that he had abused and exploited her. She says, quote, "I'm here to get rid of my dad and charge him with conservatorship abuse." The singer said she wants her father investigated and that, quote, "this conservatorship has allowed my dad to ruin my life." And she has, as you all probably know, incredibly negative feelings toward the entire arrangement, saying that their goal was to make me feel crazy and I'm not, and that's not okay. Britney called the conservatorship effing cruelty and said, quote, "if this is not abuse, I don't know what is." And she also said, "I thought they were trying to kill me." That's something that she purportedly told the court. And just to give you an idea of how controlling the situation is for her, she had testified in court that she wanted to have more children. And in order to do that, they would need to take her IUD out. But the conservatorship prevented her from being able to do that. She was denied the opportunity to have more children. Also, she was made, according to her, to work 70 hours a week. And they also banned her from drinking coffee or eating fast food. I mean, just literally controlling every single part of her life. And she's fighting back, and it looks like, luckily, she's making some progress.
And apparently they lied to her, and in specific regards to the courts, and she thought that she could not get rid of the conservatorship. So she recently found out. Isn't that amazing? She's been under conservatorship for 13 years. And she recently found out, oh, she actually could petition to get rid of it. So apparently, if you believe her at all, and I do, given the evidence, we don't know the other side of the story too well, but apparently they've been lying to her the whole time to try to keep her under control. Now, look, here's some evidence that we can all see with our own eyes that's relevant. First of all, it's $60 million that they're controlling. So let's just keep it real on what the motivations here are.
Exactly, okay. And that's a huge part of the story. And I would argue that when you're setting up a conservatorship arrangement involving someone who makes millions and millions of dollars because they're a popular performer, maybe keep an eye on that arrangement to ensure that there's no exploitation and abuse taking place.
Yeah, and so, I mean, she talked about how this is similar to sexual abuse. I don't know about that. I do know that, I mean, it is abuse of some sort if she's anywhere near telling the truth, which again, it looks like she is. And so they would make her work 7 days a week and control what she ate and didn't eat. Why? Because she's a product to them. And the product needs to be skinny, and the product needs to work around the clock. I mean, it's just, it sounds grotesque. Now, to me, here's an obvious tell. Okay, for those of us who don't know the whole inside story. Because of course there's some percentage chance that they're right, and what if she has mental health issues and we're just listening to her but we don't know the other side. But wait a minute, guys. If I'm the dad in a situation like that and my daughter is going through this incredibly traumatic thing and then she thinks that I'm at fault, what would I do? Well, I would say, oh my God, I can't believe she thinks that. I feel heartbroken over that. So let's solve this in an easy way. I'll step out of the conservatorship. I'll let my wife do it. Or if she's uncomfortable with my wife, let's find someone that is trusted that can do it, because I want to get my daughter help. I don't want her to just be on her own because I'm worried that she's a danger to herself. But if people think it's that I'm trying to take advantage of her, oh my God, I don't want that at all. I don't want people to think that about me, but more importantly, I don't want her to think that of me or anyone else. So let's figure out, hey, Rosengard, come, let's go and let's find mutually someone that we can work with to put her in the right conservatorship. And by the way, the money doesn't have to go to me. I mean, it's my daughter's money. She's 39 years old. Why does the money doesn't have to go to me at all? It should go to her, and it should be protected under a trust, etc. Now, has the dad done any of that? So then you begin to get a sense of who's right and who's wrong.
Yeah, it's such a, when you really think about what she's been through, right? And I've been going back and watching interviews where when she, before the conservatorship, before she had a mental breakdown, just going back and watching press interviews and also the way the press talked about her. And she was a teenager when she skyrocketed to fame. So it starts off with everyone constantly judging her, right? Why are you dressed so provocatively? You're nothing but a slut. I mean, that's what the messaging was in the framing of the questions she was asked. In fact, in the documentary about this conservatorship, there was a clip of an interview that Diane Sawyer did with her. And I mean, it's amazing because I remember watching that interview at the time and thinking that it was a totally normal interview. And so there's a positive part of this where you see how much society has evolved in a way, right? Because that line of questioning and that framing is unacceptable today. But imagine being a teenager, being told by everyone that you're too slutty, you're too this, you're too that, right? At the same time, there's like a tremendous amount of pressure for you to bear a lot of skin, to compete with other women who are doing the same business as you. I remember Christina Aguilera, it was like a competition between the two of them, and then Christina Aguilera comes out and she wants to be dirty. Like, think about that culture. And then you have a mental breakdown because the whole world is constantly watching you, constantly evaluating you, and constantly judging you, and you're a teenager. So she has a mental breakdown and is forced into this conservatorship, and she just wants some freedom. She's nearly 40 years old.
Yeah.
And she's obviously been able to do quite a bit in her career, in her personal development and growth throughout this time, and to completely ignore or discount that is ridiculous. She deserves her freedom.
Yeah, so guys, think about it. The adults made her dress up when she was a young girl, as young as 15 when she's breaking out. She was younger than that when she was first got started. But they make her dress up in a certain provocative way to sell more records to other gross adults, right? And then other adults come in and blame her for it. And they say, why are you being provocative? Why, it's your fault. Meanwhile, it's this young girl who's like, what, they told me to dress like that. And then a world of pressure, and by the way, is in the last video, I'll do it again here. For any part that we contributed to that, I feel gross and sick about it, right? And so, because we followed the media coverage at the time and no excuses for it, okay? And so she has all that pressure, but then the last part of it is, my God, she has a mental breakdown. And then if she's right about all this, her own dad takes advantage of his daughter's mental breakdown to take her money and then to convince her that she's the crazy one and that's why she has to live under his thumb and work 7 days a week and never relent. And she can't even control her own reproductive rights, and to oppress her and keep telling her she's crazy so that he could milk her for more money.
It's disgusting.
Oh my God, if all of that is true, he's one of the grossest men alive. Now, again, I just caution all the time because we haven't heard his side of the story yet. But the fact that he's not withdrawing, as Britney's lawyers are asking, is obviously unreasonable and is a sign of who might be right and wrong.
She wants her father in jail. She said that.
Yeah.
That was a quote of hers. I mean, that is a strong statement about your own parent. So it's like one of the statements she made that honestly haunts me about this story. So, but the good news is it seems like there's some positive development here. It seems as though she's now being represented by a lawyer that she wants representing her. So we'll fill you guys in as the story develops.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get
playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.